Hey guys, Matt Straight Race Cards here, and today I wanted to share some mail day pickups as well as share with you guys some of the lessons that I recently learned when I was acquiring a couple of cards and share with you some of the mistakes that I've made along my hobby journey. So before I show you cards, I'll tell you a little bit about finding two cards that I was after. I was after a couple of 1952 Wheaties Bob Davies Hall of Fame basketball cards to add to my Chip Hilton collection that I showed you in my last video. And so as I was looking for these cards, there's plenty of them on eBay, albeit, a lot of them were a little overpriced. It just wasn't the right card that I was finding. So, I was fine with that. I couldn't find the card, was going to be patient. But I ended up, it was late one night that I was, up in bed just looking, through different websites, and I stumbled across this old kind of antiquated looking website that had, all kinds of cards, and in that I found the Bob Davies Wheaties cards. And so not only that, but my excitement, got really high because I saw that there was actually it was almost like a buy one, get one free deal where they were offering both of the cards that I wanted, the action and portrait, for the price of just one card. So I immediately was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna immediately buy it now, immediately purchase the cards, and was really excited about it. However, there was a few red flags that I should have caught in that process. First of all, I should never be buying cards late at night. That's just a recipe for disaster. They say nothing good happens after midnight. But there's a few red flags that should have come up. Number one, outside of buying late at night, the website, super old, didn't look, super authentic. That should be the first flag. Number two, when I went to go buy the cards, I was typing in my credit card number, and they actually didn't have, the right, one of the digits for expiration was missing when I scrolled down to punch in my expiration date on my credit card. So that should have been the second red flag. But because I got carried away in the excitement of a deal, I went ahead and continued to push through that, bought the cards. I ended up having to email the company and say, hey, here's my expiration date on my card. It was missing on the website. So went through all those things, all those red flags, and still said, oh, I'm going to do it. This is a deal. And ended up, not doing my due diligence on the website. And it was crazy because if I had done my due diligence and just typed in this guy's name in his website, I would have found a whole swath of different forums and threads saying, hey, run away from this guy, run away from this website because he doesn't ship cards. And so what ended up happening was I had gotten an email from him saying, hey, I'm going to ship the cards out immediately. So I actually felt good about it. And then a few days later, I responded back and said, hey, did you ship out the cards? And he said, yeah, I shipped them out. And so I asked him for track, and he said, well, I sent them out, in an envelope. So I said, okay. So I gave him a few more days because he said they shipped out. And at the end of the week, I followed up and said, hey, where are the cards? And so he said, well, didn't respond for a few days, and then responded and said, yeah, well, they got lost in the shuffle. And so I followed up again and kept following up. And finally, after a month, the cards miraculously shipped. So super lucky I got the cards. But in hindsight, the juice was not worth the squeeze. And so I wanted to reiterate, as I make mistakes in the hobby, I thought I'd share with you guys because sometimes when we're getting caught away in the emotions of a good deal, something that seems too good to be true, 99 out of 100 times, it is too good to be true. I'm lucky that I got cards, but there's a countless amount of people that, they didn't do their follow-up and they ended up not getting cards from this guy. And so I would consider myself super lucky, but I'm learning a hobby lesson, and that's just to be vigilant on all my purchases. Do the due diligence to look up the person you're buying from, figure out, who is a reference you can be buying from. And again, this wasn't a major purchase. It was 20 bucks and I used my credit card, so I could always dispute it if I needed to. But still, it wasn't worth all that effort and pain to argue with this guy for a month. So that's my encouragement to you guys. Continue to be vigilant in the hobby. I still make mistakes all the time. I consider myself, more of a newbie in this hobby, but as you can see, as I grow in my journey, I'll continue to learn lessons. So it's good to experience things like these. I'm certainly grateful that I got to learn a lesson and still get cards, but again, stay vigilant in the hobby and it will go well from you. Thanks, guys. Okay, let's show some cards here. So the first, I have to give a shout out to David Drury at DH Drury on Twitter. I had gotten some Rangers cards from him, and these will be for my boys. I actually gave them, there's more than this, but I actually went and grabbed a few from their stack of cards. But what I love about these, he gave me some Simeon and Beltre. And what's fun, my boys are actually playing them this morning. You can't really see, but there's actually some like syrup stains on the cards because they were eating their pancakes and looking at cards. And man, that's what the hobby is all about. I love the fact that my boys just love cards for what they are. And they're just enjoying it. So that's awesome. Come on, love a Beltre Hall of Famer, nice little 2024 Stadium Club. Also, I guess I am ended up doing a 2024 Allen and Ginter Rangers run because I just keep picking these up. Got a awesome Marcus Semien here. I actually love what these backs look like. Super cool in the Allen and Ginter font. So love those. Okay, I am going to I'll save those for last, but working on some Al Kaline here. So got two recent Al Kaline pickups, a beautiful 1970 tops. The corners were super sharp. Outside of that right-hand corner, I think there's a little mark, little scuff right there. The slab, I realize, is a little cracked, but that's okay. Not the end of the world. Beautiful card. The centering's not perfect, but again, got a great little deal on this little eBay auction. I don't really go for auctions, but for some reason, I have been on a little auction hunt recently. So there's the 70 tops. And then another thing, I don't really upgrade a whole lot either, but the SGC3 I had in this, I bought it without looking as much pictures as I should have. Again, the vigilance thing, super important, but found this for a great deal off of T206 Journey on Instagram. Great guy. And again, no creases. Centering could be a little bit better, but it's okay. I was just happy to get a version without any creases and really a fun copy. One of my favorite cards. I love that beautiful red in the cartoons. He's the co-record holder for the record for the most bases in one inning, 8. That's pretty awesome. So love that 59 Kaline. I'm going to do a Kaline run here in a few weeks to update everyone. And then lastly, here are the Wheaties cards that were so hard to get. I was hoping that I would have gotten these to show in my video last week on the Chip Hilton, but for any of those who haven't watched, Bob Davies was actually the inspiration behind Hall of Fame basketball coach Claire B's book, The Chip Hilton Series. He formed Bob Davies. The main character, Chip Hilton, he wrote based off of Bob Davies. So blank back. I'll end up probably putting these in SGC slabs here at the Dallas show. That's the action. The portrait's really my favorite. Honestly, when I look at Chip Hilton's face, this is exactly who I imagine. And honestly, I think the books have a similar image. So it's kind of like a Chip Hilton in a way to me. So love these cards. It's a great little Davies pickup to add along with my rookie. Very excited about that. Guys, keep running the straight race. Grateful for you guys, and talk to you soon.